For a closer look at what it means, what it's like to be the target of hate, I'm joined now by three people directly affected by the incidents I just told you about. Aouatif Zebiri and Abdullah El-Sasadi are full-time Concordia students. They join me from our Montreal studio. And joining me in Toronto is Quazi Islam. He is one of the two Toronto men who say they were doused with urine while at a Toronto market, where they are every weekend handing out information on the Quran, on Islam. All right, Abdullah, let me begin with you. It's been a few days since the threat at your school. How are you doing?
I'm actually doing good. I'm a bit used to it. These incidents that is happening to Muslims especially, but also a lot of community groups. I got used to it. I wasn't in school when this happened. I heard about it on the news and on social media. I was like, this is actually happening in my school. But I didn't take it that much seriously because I didn't know if that was for real or was actually fake. But thankfully, it was not actually something that happened. But the incident itself, a lot of people were touched by it.
Yeah, Aouatif, the bomb threat turned out to be a hoax, not a real bomb. Does that make a difference?
It doesn't make a huge difference to me because after the shooting in Quebec, now we in Montreal feel that the threat is away from us. It cannot reach us. But this incident, even though that it was a fake incident, it was a fake threat, it made us feel that this thing can happen to us here in Montreal and inside our university, and it opened our eyes to something that we've been ignoring for a long time, something that we didn't pay more attention to into solving, which is racism and Islamophobia. And it made me feel like work needs to be done inside the university and outside the university in Montreal by the government, and we need to work towards diluting this Islamophobic environment because it does happen, you know. Individuals do get harassed and racialized because of their religion.
We will talk more about what you think can be done about this, but it was not a hoax for Quazi Islam. What happened to you was very real. Somebody, describe what happened exactly.
Last Saturday, we were standing in the St. Lawrence Market and distributing our both the Quran and some flyers, and then suddenly I felt a smell of the urine. So I came close to my table, where we put our literature, and I see them some water on the table and all the Quran and the books. So I asked my friend George, has there any rain today? Why it is? And then I feel more strong urine in my nose. Then he said, no, there's no rain today. And then we touched, and we feel that like a bad smell. And we looked around my tables, and we saw that it was dropped or sprayed from the back of us, and it also fell in our tablecloths and our chairs. So it was like we washed the hands. It still didn't go.
Has anything like that ever happened to you before?
No, never happened. This never happened. People used to make some comments when big terrorist attack happened in Europe and America, but it's people who pass by, they always supported us.
Right.
Always.
So what did this do? How do you feel? What's your reaction to what happened?
I feel very unsafe because they did it from the back. They can come with a gun and then shoot us. What happened in Quebec City in the mosque and Concordia University, and we're hearing it from everywhere, Islamophobia. We are feeling very unsafe.
Do you think, Abdullah, that this is a spike, that this is something new?
I don't really think this is something new that is happening in Canada. I was born in Montreal, raised in Montreal, lived all my life in Montreal. Since I was young, I would hear my parents, family members talking about these Islamophobic actions that are happening to mosques, Muslim schools. But what happened in Quebec kind of was a big thing for me. And since then, anything that would happen to the Muslim community, for me especially, I'm kind of used to it. The word I would use, I was conditioned to feel that Muslims are always a threat for the population, and there are always people that hate us or hate other communities.
How are you conditioned?
To feel, for me, anything that happens, I would see it on the media, I would say, because people are ignorant. I don't want to say I don't care anymore. It touches me, but not that much, you know? There's something that is happening for me mentally that I got used to it since I'm young, but the killing of people that happened in Quebec that never actually happened in Canada before toward the Muslim community, that was a big shock. And I think anything that would happen after that, let's say someone gets shot or killed, for me especially, it's part of life, you know? People will hate you, people will like you, anything will happen. It's just, I'll go with the flow, and I still feel safe in Canada no matter what.
Aouatif?
Yes?
How do you said that there's a sense of not feeling safe and you feel like there's work to do. What about the idea that people are conditioned to, I don't know, and correct me if I'm not portraying this correctly, Abdullah, but conditioned to see Muslims as being the other or dangerous somehow?
Yes, in this way, but also for the Muslims to feel that they're part of the other and feel that they're not liked by certain people. Like people who hate us, people are conditioned to not like us, and there's work to do for that. And also from us, for the Muslims that feel that it's part of society, you know, we're always targeted no matter what. Society is just, history is kind of repeating itself in Canada. People were targeted, Jews, Indians, a lot of communities were always targeted, and now it's Muslims, unfortunately.
Okay, you're shaking your head, Quazi.
Yes, we feel that people are feeling we are others. Some people comment on us that why did you bring this dirty thing in our community? We're better off.
What dirty thing are they
like
talking about?
Islam, the books,
okay.
Quran, we're distributing this Quran. We are a Christian country. And one person stand by and he was saying, if you are a Christian, you should support him. Then he supported us, then he left away from us. So I feel that they think that we are not us, others.
Right,
coming from
but you're
others.
the enemy
Oh,
somehow.
you're the enemy, right, terrorism.
Okay, and so how do you, and where do you think this comes from? Where do you think it has to do with the state of politics in the United States right now? Do you think it's from media shows that are, I mean, you see when you see a Muslim portrayed in the media, you put it all together, often it's someone holding a bomb and saying the holy words, right?
A combination of both, one coming from the Middle East that was happening in ISIS, and second thing is for the Trump elected being a president of the United States. They're saying that we are becoming empowered now, we're in power now. I heard in the St. Lawrence market, one by passing by, and you're saying Trump is becoming president, now we are in charge.
Oh, people have said that to you.
And he passed by, and we didn't reply back.
Right. Okay.
So.
Aouatif, what's your experience? Have you heard anything like that in your life? Have people made comments to you? And what do you think of the idea that Muslims are being targeted and made the other in this country?
I think when it comes to Islamophobia and people being singled out because of their religion on a public space, I think people are singled out because of their look. So for women, Muslim women, me and another woman that's a hijabi, we have two different experiences. A hijabi woman if she gets in contact with someone that is Islamophobic, she will definitely get harassed. But for me, because I'm not wearing the hijab, my experience with an Islamophobic person, if I didn't mention that I am a Muslim, that person wouldn't harass me. So different Muslims in the community experience have different experiences in terms of Islamophobia and how they get, when they get in contact with an Islamophobic person, what happens. And just getting back to what Abdullah said about this became a thing in our community, I think it shouldn't be a thing in our community because Canada is based on diversity and immigration is a big thing here, given the fact that we welcome immigrants in Canada and those immigrants come from Muslim countries and hold a Muslim religion. And I think since we welcome those immigrants, we need to work towards providing them with a safe environment and towards trying to live with them on a safe basis. We need to respect each other. We need to respect each other's religions, each other's background. And yes, Canada might be a Christian country, but those immigrants are residents of Canada. They are Canadians, and some of them have lived their entire lives here, so they are part of Canada. So they are part of the community, and they are part of Canada's society.
So you say work needs to be done, Aouatif. What work do you think could solve this problem?
I think in terms of, I think universities need to, they have a lot of work to do in terms of reacting to such threats. The incident that happened in Concordia University, I think, was a big evidence that universities need to work towards educating students about such things. Workshops need to be developed to talk about Islamophobia, racism, and oppression in the community and in our society. I also think universities need to have more work done in terms of what comes after a threat, because these things are on a rise and we need to be ready to tackle them. This time it was a fake threat. Next time it might actually be a real threat. So at the aftermath of such a threat, we need to work towards having the right procedures. Sustainable decisions need to be made after the aftermath.
What kind of decisions, very quickly?
Yeah, for example, resuming school. Like Concordia University resumed school right after clearing out the university, finding no actual threats. And I think that wasn't a sustainable and right decision, because students were in a shock. Oh, okay. Students were afraid. They feared what was going on.
Right.
And not
so
a lot
of Muslim students, Abdullah, wouldn't want to go to school in the aftermath of that, for example.
Definitely, a lot of them feel that they are disconnected and they cannot concentrate in classes.
Abdullah, do you feel that way?
I actually went to school the next day and I didn't feel any difference. I just went to school, did my studies, went to classes. I did see less people in school. I'm not going to lie about this. But for me, I didn't feel that life is going to change within Concordia University. I feel that we're a safe school, we're a diverse school, and the school has done a lot of work to make people feel secure in the school. We had the Islamic Awareness Week during the week to let people know about Islam and the misconceptions that they have. So for me, no, I did feel secure, nothing, I didn't feel a threat. Maybe if there was a bomb, maybe the feeling would be different, but because there was nothing special, they didn't find anything, my life was just going on as normal.
Quazi, how has your life changed because of what happened?
Yeah, my life's changed. My wife is concerned that every Saturday I come here on volunteer on my own. She feels really unsafe. That when I come today, she was saying, "Are you sure you look around?" Police also advised us to, when you go there, someone will look after you guys, because you never know that on today they showed you the urine, and next time they will come with a gun and shoot you.
Right. So the police said you should have someone looking out for you, or they would send somebody?
Police says that, why don't you do these things? Bring one of your friend sitting in the car and then feeling that they are not with you, so look after the guys. So we are planning to do that. At the same time, I think it could be de-escalated if our politicians, especially Conservative Party, they should step up. Justin Trudeau is doing a very good job for us, and he went to the mosque and diversity. But our politicians should come up more and forcefully that this is not the country Canada we value for. So that can more address these issues. And I'm going there not because there are lots of misunderstanding about Islam in Christianity and Judaism. And many times people come and says, "Hey, I'm Christian, I don't need your book." And then I open the Quran and I explain the story of Jesus, story of how he was born is Immaculate Mary. And Jesus showed he make alive people, dead people alive. So those kind of a story in the Quran, and then completely change their perception.
Yeah, you know, I wish we had time to talk more about that, but today it's strictly about the experience of Muslims in this country, and especially with the what we see as a spike in confrontations with Muslims, if not outright and direct attacks. I want to thank you for coming in. Quazi Islam, thank you for coming in today. Abdullah El-Sasadi in Montreal. And Aouatif Zebiri, I want to thank you for sharing your experience as well. It was good to talk to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay.